If you need money, you also need a plan to acquire it. That's right, you can start with rupees 500 to make a crore. I am spilling the beans about what's stopping us from making the money we all want to be making. Welcome to MyFundBazaar Academy. Since a lot of queries have come in regarding the idea of investing, we decided to dedicate the next couple of videos to some basics and pointers that we need to be keeping in mind while making money. If that's something you've been thinking about, do watch this video till the very end, where we would also be revealing a secret of what's stopping us from making that kind of money. Speaking of basics, let's start with what is investing. Investing is to put your money into financial schemes, shares, properties, or a commercial venture with the expectation of achieving a profit. The obvious question is the expectation of achieving that profit met? Watching, we'll find out. Now let's talk about our goals, desires and needs we all have. Be it your daughter heading abroad to pursue her masters, your son getting married to the love of his life and you wanting that day to be the best for him, you and your wife buying a lavish house facing the seafront with a beautiful garden, finally making that family trip abroad, and looking forward to having health facilities nearby now that you and your wife have retired, with the kids having settled down in their respective lives. In all these aspects, you need money. If you need money, you also need a plan to acquire it. Which brings me to my next question. What is your savings plan? Think about it. If you were to ask us, the first point is very obvious, but only a very few do. Start saving early. How early? As early as possible. Now the next question we have is how much is enough to start saving? You actually don't have to wait for a large amount of money to start your savings plan. You can start with as small as rupees 500 to make a crore. That's right, you can start with rupees 500 to make a crore. To know how, we urge you to stay subscribed to our channel. While your 9 to 5 is giving you a source of income, it isn't enough. You need to start making money work for you. How? Keep watching. If you've liked what you've heard so far, can you take a few seconds to pause and like this video so that we know your preferences? Coming back, with a plan in place, it's time to decode the savings formula. You can see two formulas on the screen. Which one do you think is the right formula? If you chose the second option, give yourselves a pat on the back. I'll better explain this with an example. If your monthly income is 10,000 rupees, then 20% of that, which is 20% of 10,000, should go into your savings and investments, which will be rupees 2,000. Whereas the majority of us spend the money we earn on our various requirements and expenses and save and invest the remaining, which could vary depending upon the expenditure. Which formula out of these two do you follow? Tell us in the comments below. We would really like to know. With the right formula in place, you can accomplish your goals with a process-oriented approach. With most of your salaries continuing to come in, set aside only 70 to 80% of your salary as your income. We Indians generally channelize 20 to 30% of our income towards our savings. You need to understand your short-term, mid-term and long-term goals in order to keep the process of making money sustainable. With a savings plan and a formula in place, let's quickly look at the sources of income, being the services, the consultants, and the businesses. These work opportunities obviously look at your strengths where you need to work really hard to generate income, whereas sources of income like investments being rent, dividends, and capital gains, your money works hard to generate your returns. I would like to call this a smarter approach to wealth creation. For watching us till here, here's your reward. I am spilling the beans about what's stopping us from making the money we all want to be making. What do you think it is? That's right, inflation, our biggest curse. Let's start with understanding what inflation is. Inflation is the increase in the cost of goods and services over time. After extensive research at MyFundBazaar Academy, here are the current aspects the masses are spending their money on, which is a loaf of bread, a liter of milk, a liter of petrol, and higher education. Assuming the inflation to be 6% the whole of 2020 and 2030, observe how the prices rise of these commodities with time. With having understood inflation, time to look at how inflation will impact you, which I am again going to explain, taking an example of your monthly expense, which in this case I am keeping it as rupees 10,000. Do observe the chart where the monthly expenses grow 3 times in 20 years because of the inflation. Again, if we are assuming inflation to be 6%, that is, if your expenses are any different, you can always change the value and accordingly calculate to get a better idea. Over time, inflation is known to reduce your purchasing power. Speaking of the financial plan which I had brought up earlier, don't panic. Start with taking the free financial health checkup where all you need to do is answer 10 simple questions and share your health score with us. We will then map a financial plan for you, keeping your goals and desires in mind. Here at MyFundBazaar Academy, we strive to make every Indian financially literate via our educative initiative. So do subscribe to our channel and stay a penny ahead of the curve. With having answered the question, what is investing, and revealing the biggest secret to what's stopping us from making money today, stay tuned to our next video where we take you through where you should be investing, keeping the current scenario in mind. If you found this video useful, do share it with 3 people who have a certain perception about investing or who don't have any idea about what investing is. Thank you for watching.